follow-up to the last meeting. I see that we have a lot of people who weren't here last time to go. And since we're fairly small in number, I think let's go around and introduce ourselves.
What?
You know, you don't have to say your affiliation if you don't want to. I mean, just who you are.
Okay.
So it's
I am Karen Wilson, and newly back to the state from living in Ravenna, just needing to be as active with as many things as possible and make sure we're trying to stall things out so it doesn't get started there, so we have time to do petitions and get it done at a state level. So
I don't have any true affiliation. I'm just
concerned privacy.
I'm fished in Fracking Creek. I lived out in that area and I love there.
where do you live now?
Well, I'm Muskegon.
I remember that showing me that. Okay.
Terry Sprague, Eggleston Township, Wolf Lake.
Roger Nye, Northern Shores. Interested in writing about this.
He's a really good writer.
Judith Warren, Nye, Northern Shores.
Pam Hall. I'm from Stony Lake area, but live down in Beechwood.
And Schaefer, Wolf Lake area.
How about you?
Moi?
Yes. Sir William. Oh. It's W-I-L-L-E-A.
Matt Crehan, Norton Shores, with pure well water, hoping mine stays that way along with everybody else's.
Look out. Yeah, my name's Dan Mills, and I'm missing the monthly open mic up in Montague. That's how important this is to me, to be here tonight. Yeah.
Is that at the book nook?
How's that?
Is
At
that
the book nook, yeah. Yeah, it's a good time. Wholesome evening.
All right. Yeah.
I'm Nell. I live right here in the Nelson neighborhood.
Tom Jackson, White River Township.
Lynn Unger, Norton Shores.
Oh, so we got...
Oh, hi, I'm Chelsea Levinsky from Lakeshore.
Brad Hastings from Muskegon.
Robin Chesney from Muskegon.
Lori Lauderberg, Lecton Township, for petitions.
Yay.
All right, and the sort of little housekeeping thing that I was going to say is I put together this sort of email list. So if you want to be on that to get notification of future stuff, then on the sign-in sheet back there, put up your email. If I haven't already, you don't have to do that. And I think that's something that we need to talk about a little bit, because it didn't work to send it out listserv style, so that everybody could respond, because we ended up getting a lot of stuff. And I'm not one who wants a lot of stuff, but many people do. So I think we need to think about doing a Google group or something else. But at any rate, for the time being, if you just give me your email, obviously I'd have to have that to invite you to a Google group anyway. So what we did last time, we didn't get as far as I had thought we would, but people were burnt out and tired, and wanted to talk to each other. So we basically broke down the tasks, and Karen Van Erich sent that out, and I sent it to some people that I knew of who weren't on the list, or whose emails I screwed up. But there were a list of, let's just see, approximately 20 tasks. And Karen had come up with some groups to break into. And so if we can agree that these are appropriate groups, then I'm just going to write them on here, and then people can sign up. But before I went and did that, I just wanted to make sure. So the first group would be the ballot initiative. The second group is the flow, which, for people who don't know, that's for the love of water, flow for the love of water. And they're attorneys, And they have, in fact, one of them is like the most famous environmental lawyer in the state, Jim Olson. And Flo has done a lot of anti-fracking work, and Jim Olson. And so we're negotiating with them when they can come. I've already opened the discussion with them because coming out of last couple of weeks ago meeting, I thought that was the most urgent thing to do. And so, I contacted them. Yes, Lauren.
You know how that came? She was collecting money towards the fund to do that. Have you heard anything on that?
Yes. And Morning Bear couldn't be here tonight. She was pitching something. Apparently, that's something that she wants to try to get funded. But Morning Bear, I think, said she had about $700 in pledges. Now it develops that just to come here, Flo is going to need $500 because apparently they need to get money to keep the organization going. And we, in talking with Morning, she and I thought that was probably okay because she has that much money. So, and my guess would be if they do end up working with the municipalities, any of the municipalities, that it will be that the municipality, the township, will help pay for it. So, I'm just, I'm just hoping that's the case. And I'm also hoping they might give a discount to the municipality based on us having already paid them $500 to come here. So, so that's a work in progress. But that's another subcommittee or whatever. Research, and again, some stuff has been done since the last meeting. I know that Karen is working with. Karen has looked at that. One of the suggestions was that we look at that, fact sheet.
The question and answer on DEQ.
On DEQ.
The question and answer on their website, and it's just general. It's called 16 or 18 general questions about it, and then they give their answer, which is either evasive or not all facts or only one-sided, or it's really bad. So I've been trying to work on doing a rebuttal with more fact-based answers of, well, wait, this and this and this happened in Pennsylvania, and yes, there are earthquakes. So
yes, there are earthquakes that are more than microquakes or whatever. Yeah. So raise your hand if you were at the road meeting in Montague that we're I can't even remember his name.
Chuck, yeah.
What?
Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Chuck
Thompson, yeah, good.
I'm getting confused with somebody else. But at any rate, so, we know if you were at that meeting, you know that there have been bigger earthquakes that have been associated. When I hear something like that, so I can hardly say it out loud, like earthquakes, that's probably pretty important, avoid earthquakes. But, so, at any rate, that's one of the tasks under research. And then coalition building is one of the things that Karen Bednarik sort of broke out of the tasks. Public awareness and education, and there were a lot of tasks under that. And then I added permit comment and testimony. And in that regard, I'm sure most of you know already that the DEQ is going to hold a meeting here on May 1st. From 6:30 to 9. Is that what I
said? It is 9:30, but I think it's 6:30. Maybe it's only 9. But
I called them. This is 6:30 to 9:30. But they said to call them to make sure they don't start changing everything. So.
Yeah. Well, I think what it was that they listed like 3 separate events. Troy, Traverse City and here, and then just above that it says 6:30 to 9. So maybe they are planning on here. I hope so. I hope they plan a lot of time.
That's at MCC, correct?
Yes, it's at MCC. In the Stevenson Center, which is the New York. Yeah.
I put that's in the Red Independent. Not that you get the Red Independent, but I got it into the local paper too, so that'll go out to everybody.
And I have heard from other people in Ravenna since our last meeting. But the permit comment is a somewhat different situation. I don't know whether, again, I don't know how many people were up at the Dunes hearing up in Montague. And they took a lot of public comment. Whether they'll do that at this meeting or not, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. So, however, as it happens, my coworker is the mother of like the second in command at the oil, gas, and mineral guy who used to live here and work here. His name is Adam Wygan, and he said that he would get us an agenda so that we'll know. Because the main thing is, I think it's important to know, is there going to be 2 hours for people to comment? Is there going to be an hour for people to comment? Are they going to, have questions and answers for a half hour at the end? And also what their expectations are about whether people will be commenting on the permit. So, are there any other, I don't know if you can read this, but are there any other suggested subgroups or subgroups?
You've got one on there that says public
awareness and education.
Public awareness. Now, one of the things that we did the other night was go to Fruitport Township Hall and just brought them up to speed on what's going on.
Okay.
And I've got a list with me of all the townships and in the area and the dates and times of the meetings. And I think what we need to do is go to all these townships, Ravenna, Cazenovia, Moreland, Sullivan, Chester Township in Ottawa County, and just go to their meeting and say, look, this is what you got in your backyard. You want, you've got to stand up and do something about it now, because if you don't, you're going to wind up with it here, and it's going to be more of a problem once it's here.
Do people know? I mean, one of the things that Flo asked me was, so how much of the leasable land has actually been leased? And it would be good to know that. Again, I think that's our research.
Didn't they say there's another auction coming
May
up?
9th.
Yeah, there is. That's right. There's another auction. Yeah, there's that too.
May 9th.
There's going to be a rally there too.
A what?
There's going to be a rally there.
Okay.
On May 9th?
And where is that?
It's in Lansing.
Okay.
It's at the Lansing Center. Yeah. Upstairs.
Oh, all right. So that will be a statewide rally. Yeah, so we should get more out of that. Yeah, but it's the middle part. That is state land. That's only state land. I mean, private landowners, it's a different situation.
Yeah, a couple of the people at the Fruitport Township meeting, and by the way, it would be cool to have some company too doing those things. I mean, everybody's busy. These things don't take a whole lot of time. A lot of these meetings are over in a half an hour. But I was surprised there was a couple of people there. One of them was the attorney, their attorney, and another was just a public person who knew quite a bit about fracking and knew how things work with fracking, knew more than I do, But anyway, the thing I wanted to mention was that this guy in the audience talked about Sullivan Township and said that there has been some kind of movement over there, that they had actually passed some kind of a resolution. And I don't know if it was an advisory. Say it again?
In favor or against?
Oh, it was against fracking, and so it sounds good, but I don't know any of the details, and nobody there did either, if it was an advisory thing or if it was something with actual legal
right.
We don't know.
Well, that's one reason why I think it would be good to get Jim Olson here, because he will know, does it have teeth or not?
Yeah.
And I would say that I think it's very unlikely that they're going to put, a well in the middle of Muskegon, of the city of Muskegon.
No, it's
not impossible, but
Not at all, right. They're doing it on college campuses, right?
they are.
Oh, yeah. This was on NPR just not long ago, right in the middle of these college campuses, yeah.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
What did you say, Laura?
Wouldn't put anything past them.
No.
I think they can get money to do it.
Sure.
It'll be good for the city.
Yeah.
Someone just told us that there was a cat well right by the Angel School.
By Angel School?
Yeah. That's
How about
been
that?
capped for a while.
Yeah, well, of course, those wells are probably not fracking wells. I mean, we have tons of capped wells and uncapped wells in Muskegon County.
I just read by school, like they're going to do it if they've done it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
They wouldn't have to tell us.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I attempted to email Swanson's and Hines, and in response I got they emailed me back and told me that they had nothing to do with Swanson's.
Who did?
Heinz and Dean Food.
Well, good.
Oh, Heinz and ketchup?
Yeah.
It worked.
Because they do.
No, they're saying they had no connection with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But what-
Because
so-
of the weight.
Right. So we need to find an email address that we can have put out there for people
Right.
to
Good.
email them. And the last time we were in here, we talked about doing a pre-formed letter, putting up a website, which I really think is something that we could get out there and let people know.
What kind of email are you talking about? What email do you need?
A pre-formed letter for people, for
Just
signatures.
send. Yeah. Well,
Right,
yeah.
But what email do you want?
Well,
One to
Heinz,
Swanson's or
whoever is dealing with Swanson pickles, or Swanson, whatever they are.
Yeah.
That way, if you've got enough, you can get enough people, like, we were just at our Eggleston Township meeting not too long ago, and I let people know about this meeting and the DEQ, but if I can let them know where they can go to find these websites,
Right.
then we can start emailing them and letting them know.
So that is one of the tasks I think is to do with the website, and so let's just say that that's, and I mean, I think we should discuss the possibility of, personally I think it would be confusing, but I think we should talk about the possibility of, in addition to these Let's Ban Fracking petitions, if we need an individual petition, particularly I think if we could do it online, although, because I think people have a tendency to click on a petition online.
Check on that, because when we were doing the recall Snyder, there was things that were telling people that they could sign something online, and I was told that for legal things in Michigan, it's illegal
No,
to do it
it
online.
is not legal. It has no legal,
It isn't a whole lot. I mean, you can click all day long.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
right.
Is
No,
that
I mean,
just for Michigan, or is that like the whole United States?
oh, well, most of those, like, I mean, all you're doing with like a change.org petition is just getting a whole bunch of people to say it, so that hopefully who you send it to is like, oh, well, there are a million people who oppose
Yeah,
this.
it's just opinion, that's as we have.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I know of situations where they've been affected, you know, in addition to the ones that change.org tells me. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I was going to just mention that I discovered here a couple weeks ago that Swanson Pickles has a YouTube account with one single video on there. And it's a marketing video, you know, for their firm, and that they don't pay any attention to it, you know. And I put like 3 comments on there relating to fracking, you know, and then the, you know, protected area there. The Swanson is in Ravenna; it's a protected area. And then I linked out to the Let's Ban Fracking site. I think I also linked to the Boycott Swanson Pickles site. And as far as I know, nobody's seen that yet. And I would just encourage everybody to please voice your opinions that way.
So how many views did it have?
Well, I don't know, and I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it in over a week. But I just want to let you know that it isn't hard to do that sort of thing. Just sit at a keyboard and find Swanson Pickles. I got this YouTube site. Go ahead and leave a comment on there or something. Yeah. Did you know that in the Jackson M Live, that there was a report there that they were calling us a special interest group, that were gathering petitions. They're going to circulate a petition. They called this a special interest group and warned the public to beware of this. This is in M Live. How's that? Now, those articles,
Organized against us already.
yeah.
Yeah, which is,
Now,
you know.
those articles, as unsettling as those articles are, they are a means for you to put your own comments on there.
So was it,
Clarify or to correct.
Well, that's right. Or to link. Even I put our video, like the video of our last meeting here, I put that on that Live article in Jackson.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of traction that way. And I got to tell you, there were so many details at that last meeting that we had here that I was glad that we had a video. And I got some comments too to thanks. You
I
know,
was
thanks.
glad you did that because I was sitting back here, I was able to go through and kind of catch up on what
Me
happened.
too, yeah.
I missed back there.
Yeah. And do some fact checking too along the way. Yeah. But linking to those sites and just commenting and spreading our opinion that way, it's easy because you don't have to leave the house. Do it in the middle of the night.
And so, I mean, I guess I would roll in public awareness and education / communication kind of stuff into the same community. Because
An action checklist.
what?
An action checklist.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, what can I do here? Go to these websites.
Well, that's
You
true.
gotta do this,
And the thing is that I told
You
Mike
gotta
first,
make it
we can
simple.
have something like that. I'd like to have, you know, the response to the DEQ fact sheet, you know, just laid out, just like, oh, okay, number one, well, yeah, okay, but this is what the real truth is. Number two, et cetera, et cetera. And then I would love to have some kind of you know, place where they could go to take action. Of course, they can always go to Let's Ban Fracking, and that ultimately, I think, is the best course of action.
You know, I'd like to suggest to everybody, Colleen Lamont's our rep, state rep, so everybody get a hold of her and try to get her at that meeting. And maybe even, I've already sent things to her to encourage her to get a hold of the media and make a statement. Is she for or against us? What does she promised when we talked to her? She's with us. So let's find out, is she? And let's get her going. I mean,
well, I mean,
that's one thing I suggest everybody do.
Good.
Colleen is for Norton Shores. It's like a little sort of a secret.
Marcia's over there.
Yeah, Marcia.
Marcia, yeah.
Is also opposed to fracking. And in fact, actually, if I had invited her to this meeting, she probably would come.
Oh,
Well, I tried to do that.
I know.
What? You what?
I could invite her.
Yeah.
I ran into her on Monday and I invited her here, but she said she can't do it because she's in Lansing today.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
That's right. That is true.
So
Wednesdays there.
yeah, Wednesdays there in
If you did it
Lansing.
on Monday, you know, they might be able to come.
So she indicated there's a guy by the name of Jim Clift from the MEC.
James, yeah. James.
And he's looking at this from a standpoint of introducing legislation that says, look, we need to put a moratorium on this until we get the whole thing straightened out.
And the Michigan Environmental Council is he's a very well-respected lobbyist. He's a great lobbyist, truly great. He also speaking every once in a while. I mean, he is very pro-women. So if he'll, you know, yeah.
Let's make sure that everybody knows about the Earth Fair coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I want to.
Saturday, what's Saturday?
The Earth Fair
Which Saturday though?
is coming up the 27th.
27th.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Saturday, yeah, and I can do it. I can do it. I have to be gone Sunday.
Where is that? It's at Merrick. I don't know if people know where Merrick is.
Merrick, yeah.
And
There'll probably be signs up on there.
there will be signs up leading people to it.
Wasn't there supposed to be something Monday? Because I couldn't find anything Monday.
Monday was the sustainability. No, the 1 to 4 thing is Saturday.
Oh, okay.
What time
so
flies?
the
27th of
a bunch of us will be at that Earth Fair.
I've got a
displays.
booth there, I'll have petitions with me, there's a booth. I believe he let people walk around, if anybody can get quick flyers printed up or something,
Good,
or even
good.
just walk around and talk to people.
I still have some of those information sheets that the young ladies
Yeah.
who were here at that last meeting were passing out for people to.
And I will be inside with the booth, so you leave some with me in there, and
When can we get petitions like, you know, to take away, like, to get signed and filled out?
That's some for you right
There, that's what I was looking. Good, thanks.
Yeah, and that is worthy of note. Lori has the Let's Ban Fracking petitions. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but I think because many of you were at the thing and either, you know, were here 2 weeks ago or at the thing in Montague, Joy, what's her last name, Smith? Joyce Smith, spoke at that one, but you know, that is to put a statewide initiative on the ballot.
but this is going on until October, so we need stuff that's gonna happen before this. This is all well and fine, but we need to make sure we get around to these local units, and this is a longer term solution, but it's gonna take longer.
Yeah. So, at any rate, just again, you know, do people have any objection to going with these subgroups? And if so, do people feel like they're going to sign up?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then maybe people can sign up, and then one of them can elect him or herself the chair of each subcommittee.
Would the idea be to get into the subcommittees right now as well and start talking about the tasks? Or?
I don't know if that's. I'd like to stay together, you know, for just a little while at first, but just because surprisingly, I mean, there are people here who weren't here last time, and so, you know, I just want to see if there are questions, if there are issues that people would like to bring up.
I think we probably would have had more tonight except the thing for Walmart.
Yeah, the Walmart.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's true.
I know a few people had to go to that that would like to come here.
And I also didn't publicize it as well as I should have. I don't know why.
I have one question.
What's going on?
Last time we were talking about the wellhead protection program.
Uh-huh.
Where do we go to find out about that?
Well, do you know about it, Audrey? Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. Well, Kathy Evans.
Right. I mean, Kathy Evans would know about it. She does know about it, and I have talked to her about it a few times since.
But I think it was either Dan or my sister had said that K-U-L-U-K was supposed to be overseeing the wellhead, the water wellhead protection area.
Yeah.
And I have a number to an administrator. I haven't called it yet.
Yeah, and I think that the source protection area is even more pertinent to the permit, because I think, you know, what source protection is what that program does, and I think I found that on DEQ, is basically says, you know, these people are getting their drinking water from groundwater, you know, a goodly percentage of them, and I know that Kathy had a diagram where, you know, the sign, you know, that said source protection program was really, really close to, you know,
Well,
where this was.
Actually, yeah, I found that it was easy to find, and I think you're right, it's the DEQ site, and then I went over to Google Maps to find out where Swanson's property is, and it's almost dead center.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, that, I mean, I'd faint if they turned down the permit, but, you know, at the absolute least, we need to do our best to get the point across to them that they do have grounds to turn it down. I mean, you know, I'm sure at this meeting on May 1st, they're going to tell us all the reasons that they can't turn it down. And I think that we need to be able to tell them that they can, you know.
Well, they turn them down or delay.
Well, that's true.
That's true. Because I think it's harder to turn them down from what I've researched than to say, get the moratorium that says, until the EPA does their research, does more research. We don't want you in here.
Yeah.
Because there's a school right in Urbana. I mean, and that wellhead protects, it gives the water to the city of Urbana, the village, whatever. If that's the schools right in town, I mean, Fracking Creek is right there. It's all right there.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the problem. To me, you know, the fact that Fracking Creek is right there is real important. But if that's not part of what they can turn a permit down for, then they don't care. I mean, they basically don't care. And unfortunately, they may care, you know, but they can't care. And so, you know, what we need to do is find grounds that they can legitimately, certainly delay it. They can put conditions on it. You know, there are all those responses that the DEQ could have to that permit application.
It's easier for them to come back and turn them down if they first put a moratorium on it.
Yeah.
And then gather information and say, you know what, not so much. After looking at all this information we gathered.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing is, though, that, you know, keep in mind, it's the legislature that you have to get to look at that. And we don't stand a chance with the legislature. That's why it's an initiative. We don't stand a chance.
They're busy overturning votes that we've made other stuff
Sure,
already.
right.
Yeah. I mean, they're crazy. They're extremists.
But the House is all up for re-election, and this could be a bigger issue to get some
That
of those
is
people
true.
out. If they stake out an extreme position.
True.
This is, and we're a swing state.
Yeah.
We've got 2 Democratic senators and 1 for Obama, but we have an overwhelming House and Senate and governor that are Republican. So who gets their message out?
Again, that's by design. I mean,
Well, it's gerrymandered. I got it, but if you can get your message out, you can.
Well, it's true.
You can influence these people.
Fracking, I mean, it certainly seems to be an issue that everybody, except the people who stand game monetarily oppose. I mean, you know, you don't talk very much to the, you know, the average person, and you know, in fact, actually, the one woman that I talked to from Ravenna said, you know, every one of my neighbors I've gone out and explained it to is opposed or scared, you know.
And where are they?
Well, yeah, I would have to say, I sent her the meeting notice, but I didn't send it, I don't know how to send anybody else there, and I think that, you know, putting
They're all
the thing in
unanswered.
Ravenna Independent should get a lot of people out of it, yes.
I saw something that interested me, that maybe we could use with regard to the state legislature. Moms demand action against gun violence. On their Facebook page, and maybe we could do this on a website, it doesn't have to be a Facebook page, it could be a website. They had a post up there that you clicked, and they had every possible scenario. They did everything but walk you to your legislator's office and sit you in a chair. They had an option where you could call your senators and legislators in D.C. And if you clicked on that, it gave you talking points, it gave you scripts, it gave you everything you needed to know, and you could click on a button and bam, you were at the Senate switchboard. They gave you another option where you could email your senators and legislators. And again, you clicked on that, there was a pre-written letter there or email there, and you just filled in your name and email address and your address. The information that's required by law to send something to the legislature. And you hit send, and it went to as many senators, all of them, if you wanted it to go to all of them. And there was one there for shame on you, and there was one there for thank you for their vote on the gun legislation. There was another one there that was letters. The same deal, shame on you or thank you, and you could click every senator or just the ones that are your senators or the ones that you were interested in shaming or thanking or whatever.
But I wonder if we have the capacity to set something like that up. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't have very much money, you know, and I wonder if we, you know, and I'm not saying no, but I'm saying that you probably should.
But here we're just dealing with the state too, as opposed to.
Well, right, but that doesn't matter in terms of, believe me, it doesn't matter in terms of how much the web person charges.
Yeah.
But however, I do know a chief web person.
That also does fall under, like, what is the Welfare Action Checklist.
Yeah.
If we can get, you know, numbers of, you know, write the number of, this is your representative, this is your senator, write the numbers on it, add that on a small handout type thing.
If you can't do it on the website, you could find some other, or put the numbers in, and maybe somewhere on the website. If you can't do all this click here, there.
Well, right, it's the click-through stuff that costs so much for something to set up.
But you could still put some sort of pre-scripted talking points, or if you want to send a letter, here you go.
Right, yeah.
Copy and paste this, and hit your senator or your legislator's name, and off you go.
Yeah.
Easier to make it for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I had two things. One was a question. Does anyone have an idea, based on other like fracking sites in Michigan? I know there's not that many so far, but how long it takes from the approval of the permits to actual fracking on the site? Is there some sort of like, I don't know, anything else to look at that would tell us that? Was that?
Joy at the road meeting said, well, frost is going to be out of the ground soon. They're going to start right away.
Basically, it's as soon as they approve it, they'll be in. They're going to go as soon as they're approved. I don't know. I thought we were coming up on the time frame where they were supposed to be approving it. I think early May.
It is coming right up.
I think they applied it as December.
Oh, they did.
I believe the date on it.
Oh, I thought it was 60 days from something like maybe. Well,
I think it was mid-March, but
okay.
Yeah.
When did you first post that? And Audrey, did you look at the Alma material? Is there a date on it?
There is a December. There is a December date, that's when the county government knew of the permit, but that was like a pre-notification before completing the permit and applying.
Yeah, this date on here, this Jerry Taylor from Rosetta, it's dated 3/8/13, so.
Okay, so we have.
They basically have till May.
After that.
Well,
To be perfectly honest, that's why I added this subgroup, because I think that's the most urgent subgroup.
Yeah.
You know, is at least, I think we should at least try. I mean,
Which subgroup, I'm sorry?
The permit comment / testimony.
Right. Okay.
You know, because, and Karen has arranged for this guy who's been going all over the state named Joe Curry, and what's that organization that he's with?
He's a professional, 30-year professional water driller. He drills water wells, so he's very knowledgeable, very well spoken, very anti-fracking. He's actually from Holly, and he's the member of a water resource. I don't remember exactly the name. I didn't bring all my stuff with me, but he spoke in Bloomfield. He spoke last night in Ferndale, and let's see, Elfitch refused to show up because he was there.
Really?
And that's if you look up Ferndale,
Maybe that won't come to our scene.
Yeah. So, and I talked to Joe, and he's gonna come. He's gonna come try to. We're trying to get him able to speak. We don't know if they'll allow it or if he will have to speak during the comment period. But if you Google or look up on YouTube Joe Curry anti-fracking, there's a video of him from the Detroit meeting that they did, and Ferndale might be on YouTube. It was on Ferndale's website today, but I couldn't get it to play all the way through since I have a bad connection. Of course, I have bad internet in Urbana, but
so you know that's I mean, the more experts we can get of that nature, the better. You know.
Well, see how Fitch is. He looked like an ass. Once he got on, he read from the, and you can see him looking over there and reading off what, you know, that there is no documented cases, watch the video, there's no documented cases of fracking, damaging the environment or the water, you know. And so then Curry gets up there after he's all done, you're going to have to listen to him all the time, and then Curry gets up there and says, well, I have to straighten out some untruths, half-truths, half-truths.
Yes.
And he said that, no, it wasn't the fracking that was polluting the environment and the water. The frackers come in, drill, take their stuff and leave. They already fracked the earth and cracked it and did it. Then it's the extractors, the ones that come in and suck up our water, pollute it, put it in there, and then suck back up what's polluted and whatever else happens to it. So technically, it's not the fracking.
Right, I've heard.
It's the chemicals. It's the use of chemicals.
Yeah,
it's the fracking not the fracking earthquake. It's chemicals that's polluting.
Yes. So he gets on and he just goes point by point, and then he just makes health and just.
And so maybe we could run that past when we do that point-by-point reputation piece. Maybe we could run that past your attorney.
Well, I have his written what he did in Detroit or in Bloomfield. Yeah, Bloomfield, right? But I have that printed up too. I'm using that as one of my sources to go back when I'm working on about it. So.
Okay, so now you had something else?
Oh yeah, just on coalition building, I just wanted to, that's something that I'm interested in working on. I'm part of a group called Deepwater Earth First, and it is a group of people, environmental direct action, and there's people from Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Muskegon, and we've been focusing on fracking already, and so the one thing I definitely thought of as a connection is because some of the waste, in the permit it says some of the waste will be transported to Hastings in Berry County, right? And so people who are part of the group that I'm a part of are friends with and have a lot of connections with people in Berry County, and so they've been, talking with folks down there to try to, because Berry County has been doing a lot of their own organizing. There hasn't been fracking there that has begun, but they've proposed fracking on the public land there in the Yankee Springs area. And so because of that, there's a lot of opposition. And so I think that as far as coalition building between Muskegon and Berry County, like we're opposed to the well here, and they're opposed to that waste being put in their county. Yeah.
No. Oh, it's your friend that was part of the mutual aid?
I don't know.
in Grand Rapids?
Oh, yeah, that's another group. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of groups just in the West Michigan area that are working on it.
What was it, Deepwater what?
Earth First. I also, if anyone is more interested, I have, information on that. We're doing different events. There's a training, actually, like a direct action training in Grand Rapids on the 5th of May that's coming up. And we're also part of there's a spokes council group. So you mentioned the rally on May 9th in Lansing, and there's kind of a spokes council of groups. A lot of student groups are involved with that as well, who are involved with, the rally and kind of protest going on on May 9th.
And the C.I.O Club is very active.
Yeah.
We definitely reached out to them big time. And also, in fact, a lot of these people that have been calling me have been calling me referred from C.I.O Club. And, and also, and then Flo is very involved with that. And they know a student group, and so it may be the same one you're talking about, who's working in Kent County.
Great, yeah.
But
there's tons of groups out there.
And,
but I think there's a lot of potential.
The woman at Flo is like, so are you near Kent County? I'm like, yeah, the part we're talking about, almost touches, and so it's like, oh, okay, geographically. I think she's actually from Pennsylvania, which is kind of cool because she knows all about it. But so, any other big questions that people want to talk about without breaking any groups?
Just as a small question, any chance of changing the meetings?
These meetings?
Yeah, Marcia, how do you write? Could come then.
I'm totally not invested in whether we ever have another meeting.
A day.
Yeah, but if people think we should, I guess my thought was, let's break into the groups and maybe have the groups meet in between, but we can probably wait another month and it won't happen on Monday. Nothing set in stone right now.
See if I can fit it. Yeah.
Is this being done with the auspices of C.I.O or Shoreline?
No.
Or we're going to have a name for this group?
Well, I don't put much stock in names myself, but if people think there should be a name for this group, then maybe we could call ourselves Deepwater Earth First Muskegon. I mean, well, I just have been calling Muskegon anti-fracking strategy. My thought was it's just kind of
like-minded people getting together.
Yeah, because
I don't know
if we need another group, but
Well, I think that for the May 1st meeting, we need to have media there, right? I think we do, because I think that it has to get on TV or in the paper.
I think the DEQ will take care of that.
Well, I think...
But we don't want to trust them to do that.
No,
Are you
really? I called
Right.
Lynn Moore today, and I talked to her this morning. And she said, okay, so she gave me this other guy, this Steve. I thought
Steve Gunn? Oh, no, Steve. Oh, yeah, it's
hopefully
it starts with an H.
Yeah, that was her. She talked to him a little bit. She just said, hopefully not.
Oh, okay. I just
said
Steve Gunn before cracking up.
He seemed very, well, he called just as I was waiting up there, and there was this little noise. And it was just very, I don't know, someone was about 12.
So that is
He was at the meeting,
Yeah.
he was a reporter at the meeting in Montague.
Okay.
Well, because she had said she was busy that particular
The bug
day.
eyes.
So she said she
You
had
haven't seen
something
his
that was
bug eyes.
already following it. But he wanted to know, he said, I've already talked to the DEQ. I've already talked to them. And I said, what did you want to know from me? He wanted to know if I was a group, or how many people I thought would be there, or I forget what. But I'm in a hurry because I'm getting ready for this meeting, and I'm like, and I can hardly hear him.
Well, call him back.
Oh, I guess I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, so for those purposes, we could, I think Karen Benir was kind of calling us Stop Fracking Now or something, Stop Fracking something. But, I do think that it would probably be a good idea because I really do think that there are so many groups out there doing stuff that, we should be cautious about setting ourselves up as this separate group, so maybe it would just temporarily be unable to be stopped right now.
Well, I totally don't. I'm not really in a group. I'm just a concerned citizen, like most everybody that's, everybody's concerned. I said, I know the Sierra Club was there, let's see if ban fracking or anti-fracking or something. I said, so, you know, but he wanted me to tell you more after the meeting. But I think more than just he should be, I think Fox.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. I think that, you know, as far as the DQ, I think they'll send out a press release is what I think will happen. Although, they might not send it out in a timely fashion.
No, because they just released it yesterday.
Right, you'll hear about what happened.
So, I think it falls to the communication committee to get,
Did you?
I just want to know how we sign up for some of the subgroups.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
What do you say?
And I hope that we can, I mean, the main thing is, if you want to be on more than one subgroup, it's not going to work, but I think that we can.
Why not? That's fine. I mean, if you haven't got time, I'm sign up for every single one.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about in terms of breaking out. Oh, yeah, you have to choose one. Here. All right, so.
We've got a small enough group here as it is. I don't know if you want to break it up any smaller. Maybe just go one by one up and down the list there and see how many people are interested in each one. And if nobody wants to do one, then skip it.
Yeah.
If everybody's got their idea of what they're good at, what they want to do, and that's what they're going to go ahead and do anyway.
Right.
I'll have a party.
Do you have a chance to look at the list that Kim and Mary sent out, or do you want me to pass this around?
Yeah, I
think I had your email wrong, but I corrected it and sent this out maybe. Oh, so we can just pass that out. I probably, to the people whose emails I have wrong, I probably sent that about less than a week ago. It may be last Friday, or Thursday or Friday. So.
This I think is more important.
And now, is there a website that we can go to and just hit and see what you were talking about with all the different groups and Earth First and stuff? No, not one, but there's lots of them.
I want to say there's some Facebook page that has, maybe it's the Band Michigan Fracking, that has a lot of different people posting work from different groups. I think it's Band Michigan Fracking. I don't really know.
I got you.
Yeah.
And I've seen that.
Yeah, that's probably what I think. Okay.
So who is interested in doing what? Who wants to be with the ballot initiative?
Yeah.
And that's not really, I mean, that's kind of something I'm going to do off.
Right,
right.
Right, but I do think that it's important to get, mainly because, like, if somebody comes to this group and says, well, you know, I'm not that interested in you know, temporary fixes. I'm not that interested in permit. I don't care that much about that. You know, and we can say to them, okay, well, there's a ballot initiative, and this is who you should talk to.
That's true, yeah.
All right, so raise your hand and probably say your name out loud not all at once, if you would like to be on a ballot initiative subgroup.
I've already done a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be on multiple groups. I plan on getting petitions and doing it, but that's down the road. That's a month from now. I'm not even touching it at this point.
We already have petitions.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, I'm thinking Lori, you know, would be like the chair of that as the Steve County coordinator. Can we, so, let's see, Brad. Okay, let's see, Brad, me, there, Dan.
What would that involve? Are you talking just petitions or?
It's actually, you actually go and get people to sign it.
So, like, for example,
like, go family, go around your neighborhood, and
I'm already going to do that.
Yeah.
But so, for example, Lori was saying that now, you know, on Saturday, she doesn't really have anybody to come around. She could go to those people and say, you know, can you come to this event? I can't go to this one.
Anything. You don't necessarily have to be there helping me with the petitions. Be there and pass out, talk to people and spread information. That's the biggest thing, is getting the information out, I think.
What time you start?
It starts at 1, doesn't it officially? 1 to 4?
Oh, all right, that's right.
We're supposed to be there.
Merrick is just, if you are on Shoreline Drive and you keep going, what direction is that?
Kind of north.
Is it Green Valley?
It's Grand Valley, but it's not the Annis Water Resources.
The one with the humps on it.
Yeah, right, it's got all.
Oh, there you go.
And it's
That's a good
white, it's kind of
description.
isolated, and there's a circle drive that goes under it.
Granite arches.
Yeah, by Carpenter Tool, yes. So it's, you keep going further.
Yep.
So you got perimeter tool, something else, and then GU. GSU, what is it?
They don't know the little pond.
So where is that in the center of the building?
There will be signs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, you can't really park in the front parking lot of it anyway. Well, I guess you would go past.
You go past the hotel.
Yeah. Well, no, you can do that, although I got stuck doing that. Really? You mean past the hotel on Shoreline?
Yeah.
But you keep going on Shoreline, and then there's a turnaround. And to this direction it's Terrace, and to that direction it's Floridian Drive. And
So
you just-
across from like Hot Rod Highway.
Yeah. Plus from Hot Rod Highway is where you turn. Okay.
Number 2. Just show a picture of it. This is
Who wants to be involved with flow or helping raise funds for flow?
Yeah, I want to be.
Good. Cool.
3 is coalition building. That has to go along.
So Nell walked
Wait,
away, but Nelson
I
tried
don't
to
remember his names.
Yeah, she walked out, put it on for everything.
What Matt was saying about meeting with the townships and educating them and going to the meetings and.
You're talking about the flow one?
No, where did
Oh, you're talking about coalition. Okay, but I think the coalition building,
Go ahead.
I think it's more
Yeah,
for
thanks.
people who go to township as well.
You know what, I should have got a picture of it before I give it away.
Okay. But as far as coalition building, I think coalition building will come back in, but I mean, I think that, there are all kinds of groups out there and, building a class
Smoking a joint.
coalition. Oh, no, we're talking about coalition buildings.
Oh, great. Yes, I want to talk about.
Yeah. So,
That's the thing to me that drives me crazy is that there's 100 little groups out here, and is anybody really talking to anybody? We need a big umbrella place.
Competing and arguing and
Exactly.
saying, our idea is best, yours is wrong. And
Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah.
Isn't that the way it goes?
It's not even productive. It's not moving forward.
Yeah.
If you're going to argue, go away.
We got to put all of these answers together.
Right.
Instead of arguing.
And because of what you're doing is you've got I'm spending hours a day researching, I'm researching, and then every other group out there, people are it's all redundant. It's a waste of time.
Right.
So I don't have the answer to that. I don't know how we get everybody together.
And
But
I know that Shirley Callio, I don't know if anybody else knows Shirley Callio, but she's with Sierra Club, although she's also not with Sierra Club. She's kind of independent. But she in Kent County, and there was a statewide training, and she went to that. And I had contacted her right away because I knew that she even has like a little newsletter, like Fracking News, she calls it. So, I had asked her if she would come and help us out in Muskegon, and she was at the road meeting. And so I'm thinking that somebody like that, she's an older woman, somebody like that might be able to at least have her hands in enough stuff that she would say, well, they're doing that over there, so why don't you join them, kind of thing.
right.
So does anybody else want to be on the coalition building? Anybody wants to go first? Okay, Roger and Judith.
There's also another event coming up. I'm pretty sure it's the weekend of May 31st through I think 31st and 1st, at Circle Pine Center, which is in Barry County in the Yankee Springs area, and they are trying to put together like a statewide, like a strategic plan, like a statewide strategic plan for like anti-fracking.
Yes.
And so I think that would be, it's definitely they seem to be focused on exactly that, of trying to bring everything together, all the different groups and tactics and things like that, and come up with some sort of larger plan.
Well,
so
for sure.
I can forward that information.
Yeah. And you put it on the Facebook page and also put it on once I get that little, what Facebook page?
There's so many different Facebook pages.
I know,
That's
separate.
I agree with you. You got
I
it.
didn't know if you want me to go ahead and do it or not.
What?
The Facebook page, I was going to go ahead and set one up, but I didn't know if you wanted me to go ahead and do it.
Do you have one? Because I don't think I'm
The only one I have is the
rather see a group or a page?
Oh, I think a page.
I think a page.
Group
Yeah.
for, I mean, a page or an event is more for trying to get people that don't know to get them in, I
I'm
think.
kind of wondering what we could do is make a page that's for public.
Right.
Public can see it, but then have a private group for just all of us to
There
be
you
able
go.
to discuss
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Have both in.
Yeah.
If that
So
sounds
that's what it
good.
is, like, about a Google group or a Facebook group or
Yeah,
a Yahoo group, I mean, we need
Facebook group actually is easier.
Yeah.
Mhm, good.
So-
Good. So now we have to have a name. We have to have a name, right? That's what she was saying.
Research.
Hang on, before we go away. We're going to have to settle on a name because she's going to put together a page. We got to be able to find it. Then it can be the name. Yeah.
So let's do this first and then talk about what we want to call ourselves.
Don't forget.
As maybe close to the final thing.
Okay, research. Who's interested in doing research?
Research.
Yeah, I know, I'm kind of just going by first names here, so I'm going to have to look at the sign-in, so everybody has to make sure they signed in, because I'm not going to, first.
I'd like to be on that group too. I'd like to be on that group too. I don't plan on working too hard, but I want to know what the inside scoop is.
And then public awareness, education, action checklist.
That's what I want to be on, especially, yeah. It's important to know what you're talking about, and I don't right now.
Hold on, I got it already.
Tom.
Yes.
And are you two? Chelsea, Brad?
She'll support me with this.
And Lori? And we got a secretary.
Okay, you got me on there? Yeah.
So, Dan, did you sign up for research?
I got it. Okay, so for public awareness education, I have Dan, Roger, Judith, Tom, Chelsea, Brad, Lori, Matt, me.
And then
there's one more, 6, the permit, comment, testimony. I don't know if I really understand.
well, that's so that, so that we explore what happened in this March spring. Anybody else want to be with me on the permit, comment, and testimony?
Is that the one report where you talked about something on the city's website?
No, it's actually responding, like, so it would be like a source protection, and generating comments so that we can comment on that. There's no requirement for, wait, hold on, we have one meeting, hello? There's no requirement on a fracking permit, on a well permit, that they take public comment, but you're always free to make public comment. And the fact that they're coming.
Doesn't mean to listen.
Right, yeah, which they ought to listen anyway.
For when they come on it first, when they have.
More or less, yeah. But then we still, as near as I can figure, would have like another week to submit written comment. I mean, what I did to put in their mind to have the public meeting was I sent and I referenced the permit number and I asked for a public meeting. So, it affected to some minimal degree. Yeah, Chelsea.
Can we make up flyers without anybody else's logo on it or anything just to pass out?
I think we should.
And I encourage that to people, just make something up and print it off and hand it out, like we did.
We can always make more later as we get more information. I would love to see some flyers and get some information.
Yeah, and I do think that. So that brings us to, do we want, what do we want as our next? So let's just, here, I'll use this for something. Let's just throw out names.
I was going to suggest some sort of coalition in the name because we're talking about how we don't, want to be a separate group, but we want to try to be bringing stuff together. So something with coalition, maybe.
Yes. Citizen coalition.
There's a website for this.
Concerned citizen coalition. That's kind of long, isn't it?
Well,
I think it should say fracking or
Fracking.
Well, we just use, I don't think we use this.
how about coalition? How about coalition of intellectuals against?
What?
No, for.
I think it should be something with clean water, because
Yeah.
you may never get rid of fracking because they have been using it for 50 years, but they haven't been using the chemicals for 50 years. My issue is the deep fracking in North America too, but my issue more is the chemicals.
So like the button says don't frack with our water.
Yeah.
So could we be the don't frack with our water coalition? I mean, that's possible.
That's cool, huh?
Yeah, just throw what it is right now.
I like something with clean water.
We had a company in town called Campbell Wine and Cannon, a foundry company, and I just thought the initials Clean Water Coalition could be used for them.
Yeah.
I think, and maybe with Muskegon, I mean, just to kind of give us a place name within all the different groups.
Yeah, Muskegon.
Yeah.
I like saying Clean Water Coalition.
But it doesn't say anything about fracking, right? I mean, how can
It
you?
doesn't say anything about fracking, and also there
And this
are
is specific.
dozens of groups in Muskegon County working on clean water.
Yeah.
I like the don't frack our water.
You know, too, if you've got that fracking, people are gonna ask you, what are fracking?
They gotta know.
You got a way to start a conversation going with that.
They gotta know. They gotta find out.
That's cool. Frack No Coalition.
The other thing is, they've had vertical fracking in the state for a long time. And when I stood up to describe this to Fruitport, I just put my finger down like this and I said, okay, this is what we're used to, the vertical one. That's not the problem here. The problem that we have is they're going to do it L-shaped. It's going to be horizontal. So don't just say fracking because we're not against the vertical one. We're not going to be able to stop that anyway.
I'm against that too. Me too.
It's the horizontal. Okay, it's the horizontal fracking that's the danger. That's the one we're really trying to stop. We're probably not going to be able to stop the other one anyway.
No, I agree about that.
Then we have to focus on the horizontal fracking.
But
Because
I think that people
Take too long,
are used enough to people saying fracking to mean the horizontal.
But don't you think all the easy oil is already taken?
Came up
When I was, that's already
profitable, they got it.
gone. Now they have to go twice as far down.
So they're all.
And it is,
But you're right, man. We got to make that distinction for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in this name of this group, they got to come up with a name.
So
I'm just thinking of something that's not going to confuse the public.
How about like smart people against fracking? Yeah. 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 There.
Do we want to be Michigan or Muskegon?
I think it should be Muskegon.
I like to see it roll. There's so many in the state.
Good. Good.
Well, okay. Any other suggestions to throw out?
What do you got?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to hold this up. And there's the off chance you could read one minute. So, don't frack with our water, or don't frack our water. One of the don't frack. Frack No Coalition, and I guess this would be don't frack with our water coalition. Frack No Coalition, Stop Fracking Now Coalition, Smart People Against Fracking.
Will any of those infringe on any other names that we know of?
What did you say?
I don't think so.
Like the Frack No, is that something that anybody has taken?
Copyrighted or?
Oh yeah.
And if we put Muskegon
Yeah.
I could, well, that's I like Don't Frack Our Water Coalition. Muskegon branch.
Yeah.
Oops.
So Muskegon's don't frack our water.
Yeah. So frack no.
Muskegon Indians. Muskegon Indians against
Well,
fracking.
That's what I thought was a good home Frack No.
Well,
I like
there
that.
is,
It's short and
there
sweet.
seems to be.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of. We infringe on somebody, we're going to make enemies quick, and we don't want to do that. We want to make friends.
I'm not sure this is this is started by Mayor Tillman of Ditch, Texas. Ditch.
What'd you say? What?
Yes, correct, no. Ditch, Texas. So, we probably would, that probably would be that. Oh, and then there's one in New Zealand. And then there's something called No Frack Ohio, but that's different. Okay, so we've got your contact information, right, Tom? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to put something in here about Oceana County too? Because they got one of these things going in right around Silver Lake, and we should get those people involved in this too because they're so close.
So make it West Michigan?
Yeah, West Michigan's probably better.
Okay.
What about Muskegon's coalition against fracking? Muskegon's coalition against fracking.
I don't know why we have to have the word coalition in here.
Yeah, that's kind of.
It's like just Just think of something that anti-dangerous fracking or something that.
It'd be cool if we could think of something that had a good action.
Yeah.
Yeah, something the public can pick up on quick.
Yeah.
My mind
so
reels with sarcastic replies.
I guess we're just going to, it's going to come down to, don't frack with our water is a bumper sticker tag.
Fuck frack.
Which I assume, you know,
You're on tape.
Oh, yeah.
And stop fracking.
You edit those
Well,
tapes?
I think stop fracking now is so generic.
You're going to have to start.
Anybody can say.
I think we should come up with something that spells the word like flow.
Yeah.
It would be
Somebody's
cool to
gonna
do
catch
that.
you.
Can you do
Let's
that?
have a moratorium.
Yeah, how many comp words can we come up with?
Yeah, we don't have.
We have 2 weeks.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Wait. She's putting up a website or a Facebook page.
Change a name as long as there's not too many people.
I agree.
Oh, really?
The Wednesday meeting,
But we got to be able to find it. That's
Yeah, so
Don't frack with the mitten.
there you go.
I think they're already,
People, is there?
I think there's already something very similar to it.
Well, this will be the Muskegon or West Michigan part.
Also with the petitions, what you told me is they have to be signed with the same color ink, do they not? Does that matter? Okay, I heard that
Any
there was.
instructions should be on the back of it if they're picky about that.
Okay, well,
Yeah, because you don't want to waste the, sure that
yeah,
all
and
the.
I don't think the color ink matters. It's just that however they sign their name, they have to print it the same
I
way.
think it's mainly as long as it's either black or blue is the main thing, any other color. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
black or blue.
Yeah.
I was
Don't
wondering.
frack with the mitten does not seem to actually have.
I like just don't frack the mitten.
Or don't frack West Michigan.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Don't frack West Michigan. How about
Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
The mitten would be cuter, but that's kind of a big area.
Yeah, we're not covering the whole state. Just
Good.
we're just working on this, so that'd be good.
Yeah, don't frack West Michigan.
Yeah.
FRAC or FRACK.
FRACK.
Okay.
What did she say?
Don't frack West Michigan.
All right, so.
SFUCK.
Don't frack West Michigan. Is that temporarily
FRACK.
something that we are all in
That's fine.
consensus about?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. We'll look for that tonight.
Good.
Yeah, we got something accomplished.
We want to add coalition to that now.
Oh, no.
No, we can say that we're a coalition.
Yeah.
You know?
Why is that important?
Well,
Everybody's
I guess-
throwing it out there must be a reason.
for me, it's important because I am like sort of a geek about organizational structure, and I just don't want to see another, organization. I just think that there are so many organizations and so, but, I mean,
This
as
is a
long as we don't
movement.
have to, pay $20 a year to be legally incorporated, I don't care whether we include coalitions in our name.
It's shorter if we don't, easier to remember,
Right.
easier to find.
Right.
I think, it's, for me, the importance of, I don't think we have to put coalition in the name at all, that's totally fine. But having a coalition, I think then it's more like an umbrella, and so then it's kind of encompassing a lot of different ideas and tactics and stuff that other people are working on. And so, yeah, I don't know, I just, maybe it's just because I think about the organizational stuff of it too, but, yeah, I think it's something that we have, different people coming together and again, not competing with each other, but trying to work together. But we're not all working on the exact same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Next question is, if we put this on Facebook as a group for us,
Hey.
I have 2 people's here email address, that's it. Do you have everybody's email address?
Well, I
Or
told people
Facebook
to
or
sign
something?
up on I can put their email addresses on that sheet of paper if I didn't already have that. Okay.
I wasn't here for 6 months.
But I already have that yours. No, there's, yes, except for I had I had an S800 rather than 5800. So I didn't have it. So, and I know Nell's email address.
I wrote it down.
And those people there, we definitely, we can always put it. And what about, Robin, do we have yours?
I'll make sure I get down.
Okay. Cool. And then once we have the Facebook page, we won't have to worry about that so much.
Right, we can pretty much have these meetings on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be nice not to have all of you bouncing emails come back in my email.
Yeah.
I'm trying to notify someone.
No, I know, and like I said, doing the was working on a computer that she wasn't familiar with. Although, it could happen, you know, so. But yeah, I was sitting with Mark Evans and I forget where we were, Hennessy's, and he's like, Karen just sent me 9 emails. But she's patient. So, so now, do we want to just temporarily get together in smaller groups, just for like maybe the last 10 minutes or so, just to kind of get to know who is going to be in what group, or do we feel comfortable with some person taking responsibility, like Karen, Jill Wilson will take responsibility for making sure that somebody in each group convenes their own.
Well, one of the things that we have to do if we're going to go to these public meetings is know when and where they are. And there pretty much isn't anything going on till the first, everything is the beginning of the month mostly. So for the townships that we need to go to, they all meet usually Monday, second, whatever. Now, I got a schedule of these. How do I go ahead? What's the best way for me to get this schedule off to everybody? Just so I can.
Well, so what
put it on the
I
Facebook.
would think that would fall under the flow work with townships committee. So did you sign up for that?
Sure. And we'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we definitely should put it on Facebook, and we definitely should.
We have to fill these township halls, and we went out to last summer. We went out to Eggleston, and we got a bunch of people out there. And when they had this thing going on at the county, there were a lot of people from Eggleston Township out there, and they were really upset about it. So all we have to do is essentially hit all the eastern townships and tell them what's going on, and say, look, you've got to be aware of this, and bang, then they'll take it. Hopefully, they'll take it from there.
And you know, Morning had the idea of telling people in the townships, the individual citizens, telling them, you know, make sure you have on record what your property values are right now. You know, make sure that you know.
That's good.
Have your wells on check.
And have your wells on check, yes.
Of course, that's public record, the taxable value.
So, anyway, so how do people feel? Well, you know, well, let's stand around and talk for a bunch of time anyway, so let's just do that.
Sounds good.